Hola, God, it's bright. It's really bright. I hope you can see me. It's 11 a.m. here in sunny Spain and about 30 degrees. It's absolutely glorious. So I'm doing some work right now. Then late this afternoon, I'm going to have a bit of a pool afternoon. Harvey behind me, I'll just tell you this and then I'll get into the real nuts and bolts of what I wanted to share with you today. This is Harvey behind me. Come here, Harvey. This is my beautiful King Charles Spaniel. His name's Harvey. Now, Harvey spends his entire day, every day, all day, chasing flies. He's the most resilient little dog I have ever met. I don't think he's ever caught one, but he still shows up every morning and gets to work, keeping the garden safe from the flies. Look at him. He does that all day, every day, and stops for a drink and a nap every now and then gets straight back to it. He's never caught anything. He's the definition of what it takes to be successful at something, that dog. Anyway, so what I want to share with you today is an experience that I had recently that you guys will probably be able to learn a lot from, because I've been able to learn a lot from it. And I want to introduce you to a company that I shop at. It's I'm not trying to sell you something, by the way. I do not get any sort of commission for these products, but this is a company called Niche. This is a perfume company that is here in Portobello. I know I think there's one in Milan and a few places around the world, but it's quite an exclusive perfume shop. So as you can see from the bag that the perfume comes in, and before it's ripped open, like, it's got a beautiful ribbon as well, and they always tie a really lovely bow, and the bag's like really high quality. And now in here is two things that we bought at the weekend that I want to share with you. One is James's aftershave. Now even the box that his aftershave comes in, I mean, look at this. Hopefully it doesn't fall out, it'll kill me. And then it's like wrapped in this really lush paper, and Alexander II it's called. Everything about it is amazing, right? We also bought, while we were there at the weekend, and I am going to teach you something about this, I'm not just showing you what we bought. We also bought this beautiful incense burner. So it came in this gorgeous box. Everything about this shop and what you buy in it just makes you feel ridiculously abundant. Everything screams luxury. So this is the incense burner that we bought. So you open it up. It's really well made, and it comes with like, whoop, it was till I broke it. It comes with like these little pinchers, and you put the coal on, and then you put the charcoal on, and then you put the incense on top of the charcoal and light it, and it's gorgeous. It smells amazing. The reason we bought it is when we go in the shop, we always have the exact same experience every time we go in the shop, and that experience is always incredible. So when you arrive, they sit you down, and they've got these big high back, like almost royal chairs. How appropriate is the name? I know, right? Everything about the brand, everything about it is amazing. So when you go in, they sit you down in these beautiful chairs, and there's like a man area, like a man corner at the back of the shop, and it's got a few chairs to sit on, like beautiful, gorgeous, like big, comfy chairs, all made of like velvet. It feels quite Arabian in there. It's very gold and black and very high-end luxury. And then like they'll give the men cigars if the men want to sit and smoke a cigar at the back of the shop while the women are choosing the perfume. They always offer you a drink, and it's always this like beautiful tea. It's such amazing, incredibly tasting tea. Or you can have a glass of champagne, or the experience is always exactly the same. Every time you go in, you know what you're getting. You know you're going to pay more for it, but you know it's high quality. You don't just buy, it's not just about the product that you're getting, it's about the whole experience. The whole experience makes you feel a lot of joy, a lot of abundance, and it's one of the big reasons that we go there. Obviously the end product has to be great too, but you know what you're getting. And I want to tell you about another experience that I had. And this isn't a recent experience. I've got to say, I want to go, Sasha, do it. Portobello, literally at the marina in Portobello Niche. It's amazing. there are some other places around the world as well. So I have, let me just say before I start, the most incredible hairdresser, the most incredible lady that does my lashes and my brows. Amazing, couldn't be happier. However, before that, I used to go to this salon, and the first time I went in there, I'm the sort of person that I like to have everything done in one place. Like, if I'm going to get my nails done, my lashes, my hair, let's just get it all done in one place. Let's get it all done in a day and then I'm done. Because as much as I quite like being pampered, like, it just becomes another thing that has to go on your to-do list. Another thing you've got to make time for every week. And I quite like, you know, walking, riding at the beach, lying at the beach, going out for meals. And as much as I like to look nice, it makes me feel good if I know I look good. At the same time, I don't want to spend loads of time having to do it. And I used to go to this salon where the first time I went there, I walked in and they were very attentive. Would you like a cup of coffee? She went and made me this really frothy, milky coffee, like a really nice latte in a big tall glass, and chocolate by the side. When they washed my hair, they massaged my scalp, and there was nice music playing, and they gave me a load of magazines to read. And while I was there, they said, are you in a bit of a rush today, or have you got time to spend and want to stay for a long time and be pampered? Because we can cater for both. We could get the lady to start your nails while you're having your hair done if you wanted, so we can get both done in one go. Or so they took care of everything, and it was a really gorgeous experience. And the salon was very clean. It smelled amazing when I walked in. And then the next time I went back, they didn't ask me if I wanted a drink, and I sat, everything else was the same. The guy that cut my hair at the time, he cut it very well. It was probably one of the best cuts I've ever had on my hair, and he coloured it very well. I was dead happy. I was happy with my nails. So, like, the end product was great. Second time I went in, everything was exactly the same, but they didn't ask me if I wanted a drink, and it took them probably about an hour to ask me, and I was quite thirsty, and no big problem, definitely not something I'd ever complain about, but I just kind of like, oh, okay. And then the next time I went back, she didn't offer me a coffee at all, but she offered me a glass of wine. And I don't really drink a lot anyway. I don't really like the taste, but I definitely don't drink in the middle of the day or the morning. So I said no to the wine, and then she didn't ask me if I wanted anything else. So I sat there the whole time without a drink. And then this time they didn't massage my scalp. They just washed my hair really quickly and didn't ask me if I was in a rush or if I wanted. It was a very different experience. And the next time I went back after that, something else was different. And that third time, as I was leaving, I know that I'd already made the decision unconsciously that I probably wouldn't be going back. It wasn't a conscious thought. It wasn't like I'm going to complain, or that's not right, or that's not right, I'm never coming back here. It wasn't that strong. It was just a subtle kind of, I'm going to look for somewhere else to go. Yet, my nails, perfect. My hair, perfect. Absolutely nothing wrong with what they've done to my lashes. The end product was fine. But it was the unpredictability and the inconsistency in the service that I, as a consumer, couldn't quite handle. And from that point, and I've read about this in entrepreneur books and small business books, from that point, I've always been really mindful of consistency in a brand and predictability, because I just know the importance of that for a consumer. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, because I think it's something that gets missed, and it's something that I notice comes up over and over again in the people that I coach and their businesses in a different way, in that, you know, most of the women I work with are women that are in business to make a difference, as well as to build a life and an income for themselves. They're in business because they want to contribute to the world. They want to make lives better in some way. And a lot of their values are similar to mine. And one of my values is deliver more than promised, over deliver and under promise every time. Always do more than people expect you to do. And that's been one of my values since my first business and since I started in this business. But it's a value that I see in other people a lot. Now the thing is, there's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely where you want to be. But what we must never assume is that people will recognise that it's above and beyond and be grateful for it to a point that if you take it away, that will be okay, because they know it's above and beyond. So what I mean by that is, you know, in the hair salon, I hadn't paid extra for a head massage. I hadn't been told at any point that part of the service and what I was paying for was a drink, was everything I got the first time round. But because I received it, it became expected. It became the norm for what that brand delivered in return for my money. That became the norm. And that's what happens in our businesses too. So we mustn't ever feel shocked when we don't receive the level of gratitude we perhaps thought we should receive for doing above and beyond, because to the consumer it's the norm. And this is something that I've noticed in my own business over and over again, something that I have to remind myself as well. So can you imagine if at the end of having my hair done, I would never have done this, but let's say I had have gone, who can I talk to about complaining? Because actually, the first time I come in here and got a head massage, and I got a drink, and the service was amazing, and then this time that happened, and then this time that, and if I'd have voiced that, they would have probably thought, well, hold on a minute, you didn't pay for all of that stuff. We just happened to give you that for free once. But from a consumer's point of view, that is their standard service, and that is now what I expect. So how can we learn from this in our businesses? I'm not saying don't over-deliver, always over-deliver. I believe that when we under-promise, over-deliver, give more than people expect us to, it can only lead to solid relationships in business, longevity, recommendations, referrals, etc. But at the same time, only do what you can consistently do. Otherwise, don't do it at all, because it has the adverse effect if you can't consistently do it. So if you're a coach, for example, like me, and you may run a group program, but because you over-deliver, you still take time every week to touch base with each client that you have personally out of that group environment, and on a one-to-one you send them a message or something. Only do that if that's something that you are prepared to consistently, week in, week out, include within your service, because the consumer will become to expect it, even if it's not something that they're paying for, something that's written into an agreement with you. It's something that they become accustomed to having, and the first week that you can't over-deliver, that becomes noticed, and there's a feeling of unpredictability because it's not consistent. I can't trust it. It's kind of, it's built in us as an instinct, really. It all happens on a level that we probably don't even compute and understand ourselves, but we start to feel a little bit rocked by that experience, like, hold on, I thought I got this and now I'm not getting this. Why am I not getting that? Can I trust this person? Can I trust this brand? Can I trust this service? Oh my God, I'm feeling unsettled by this. And we don't quite understand it. It's not even conscious, but it happens. So it's really important as business owners to remember that the consistency of our service, even if it's above and beyond, has to be there. So it's a really good idea to look at your business. Absolutely, Louise, we create the expectation. It's really important to look at the business service you offer, know the parameters that you offer it within, say what's my above and beyond, but can I stick to that above and beyond consistently? Can it be built into my model and structure so that when it comes to leveraging my business, I can keep my level of service the same without me getting busier and busier and busier? Because if the answer's no, then find another way to over-deliver. Because otherwise you end up in a position where you're overworked, can't leverage, the service slips, people expect more, they don't get more, they end up unhappy. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because it's something that I can see that comes up for a lot of people over and over again. And then, I was working with a lady a few weeks ago, and she was just fuming almost with a complaint that she'd had in her business because a client wasn't happy because she hadn't done something. But it was something that she wasn't in the parameters of her agreement with this client, wasn't really supposed to do, but she'd done it a few times because she wanted to do more for them. And rather than feeling like they were grateful for that, she felt attacked because of the second that she didn't do more, they were complaining and moaning, and then that caused conflict between her and the client. And actually, when she saw it from a different point of view and was like, actually, as the leader, I've not developed consistency of service in my business, and that's what's caused the conflict, and owned it and looked to change it, then things could really start getting resolved with her and that client, but also in the future to prevent any confrontation in the future. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I have, above this video, popped the link in there for the Freedom Formula for Female Entrepreneurs, which is my brand new masterclass that's free for you. But it's all around how I've hit my goals over the last few years by developing a leveraged business through strategy and leadership, and knowing kind of what I need to do to build a business that I can take myself out of and it still grows. And some of this stuff's included in that bigger picture, because consistency of service is also important with that in mind too, because if there's no consistency, then people can't copy it. People can't copy it, you can't hire people and delegate some of the things that you've been doing, because you make yourself very difficult to copy. So some of this is explained in the Freedom Formula for Female Entrepreneurs. You can get the link above. It's just a very quick download and you've got instant access to it. So if you haven't already got your hands on that, then you can get your hands on that above. Speak to you soon, guys. Have an awesome Tuesday. I nearly said Monday then, Tuesday.